We just wrapped up round 2 here at Mountain Creek Bike Park in New Jersey of the Monster Energy Pro Downhill Series presented by Continental, and we're kicking off our press conference today. It was an awesome week of racing. A little bit of curveball with the weather and some schedule changes, but the riders really rose to the occasion and put forth some incredible performances this morning. Unbelievable weekend of racing. Huge thank you to all of the families and riders for dealing with the schedule changes and, rising up to it and just staying stoked and keeping the energy alive. We had 406 riders registered, and the pro payout on the day was $17,500 into the hands of the athletes. So let's get this press conference started and hear from the riders themselves. All right, we're here at the 2025 Pro Downhill Series number 2 with the elite women's field in our press conference. Unbelievable performances today. You kept all of us at the edge of our seats. So I guess the first question, you could take this one at a time. We obviously had a curveball yesterday with the schedule change. No one was happy about it, especially Clay. He's working really hard to deliver the perfect product for you guys, the athletes. So we had to postpone racing last night. You have a whole nother night to think about, what you have to do. We know how important that pre-race prep is. Were you able to use that time? Obviously, you packaged it correctly in your minds because you all delivered, but were you able to use that time a little differently than normal to prepare for today? We'll start with you, Callie.
Yeah, definitely. Using the extra time was definitely a bonus, mainly just because yesterday we had such a long wait into knowing if we were going to race or not. I think everyone was kind of lethargic and went a little stale. It's easy to let your race nerves kind of fade away in that moment, so I think it was good for everyone to get a reset. We had a drier track, which was the silver lining, which was great. It was really fast, but everyone got a reset and got to do their normal function into the race run. So I think that was a lot better for everyone's mentality, and it seems like in the end everyone was happy. We all got to race, which was great. We all overcame and adapted, so yeah, we're all stoked.
All right, sick. How about for you, Taylor?
I would say it worked in my favor a lot more so. I had a really gnarly digger right before my seating run. I had mega whiplash on both sides of my neck, and so I was going into yesterday really sore and not 100%, and I needed an extra day of healing. So when I woke up this morning, I was like, elbow's okay, neck's feeling a lot better. I was like, I feel like I could perform a run today. I was like, all right. I was a little early in the morning, but you know what? We'll just play her, feel good at the top. So I'd say that worked better for me, feeling ready to put down a run like I just put down for all of us.
Yes.
Hey, great job. And Bella, for you?
Yeah, I mean, the same that they've all said pretty much. I got so amped, I chugged a Celsius and went to get on the lift and realized it wasn't moving. So then you sit around for 3 hours and you're like, okay, what's going to happen? And obviously it's out of everybody's control, but I think you all did such a good job just making it work for us. And we woke up, we went racing this morning. It was a good day, so
yes,
you can't complain.
For sure.
Yeah, awesome. So Bella, you talked a little bit on the hot seat because you sat there for quite some time about how cool it was to win the SR Sun Tour Whole Shot Award.
Yeah, and I ride for SR Sun Tour, so it's just a cool thing, and that really, I woke up this morning, I was like, that's the first goal. We're getting the Whole Shot Award. I said, let's set the tone, and obviously these girls are so fast, and it's so cool racing with them. And they got me at the bottom, and and we were so close, and how cool is that? You're just sitting on the edge of your seats watching them come down, and it's so fun to watch them ride, and yeah, no, it was awesome. I was happy.
Awesome. And Callie, you kept us on the edge of our seats the whole time because you're up, you're down, you're up, and then you're down, and then
right.
We're sitting there watching the clock, and I think everybody was, because you threw down such a strong performance in the mud the other day, right. I think the audience was expecting to see
Definitely.
Oh, this is going to be a boring finish, maybe. You know what I mean? Maybe.
Right.
I don't know. I can't speak for everybody, but it was so exciting, which is a testament to your competitors. It was so exciting.
Yes.
So tell us a little bit about your run. Were there any points?
It was great to have the girls that tight. I was a little unsure how the track was going to be just because this morning it was a sight lap, and obviously all of us, we were pretty cold going into that sight lap, so we couldn't fully push into that, more so just trying to get eyes on the track and read the conditions. So I was definitely more conservative than I would have liked to be in my race run. I just wanted to be smart and get to the bottom and really really push on the pedals where I could because there was so much pedaling on this track. It's actually a very, very physical downhill track with all the pedaling that was up there. I wish I wasn't as conservative in some of the sections, but I just tried to play it smart, and it brought us home. So yeah, I want to definitely let it loose a little bit more in my next ones, but with everything going on and how much the conditions changed, I was just unsure of what the track was going to bring to me. So yeah, I think overall we're happy and we're going home happy.
Yeah. Awesome. And Taylor, I did not know that you were coming back from like being banged up in right before seeding, and in my mind going into this morning, I was thinking, all right, we got 2 desert riders, you know, like obviously you're all very skilled and well, you're dry, you're SoCal, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I guess we could say Bella's a desert rider, right?
Yeah.
But
High desert.
high desert, but dry conditions probably primarily where you're training. Obviously you've got skills everywhere. I was thinking you might have an advantage, but it dried up quite a bit. So did that play into your mindset at all?
Totally. I actually played more so into the mud yesterday, actually, because I actually planned on only breaking the beam yesterday. I was pretty banged up, but like I was telling Emmy, I was like, we were at the top and I was like, heard the beeps and I was like, my racer was kicking in, my racer instincts where I like have to go full send. I was like, I'm just going to break the beam, and all of a sudden I was at the top and I was like,
I gotta go.
we're going to drop in, we're going to drop in, we're going to
Nice.
go. Just because I love the mud. That's what I'm raised in. I'm raised over in Washington State with all that roots and mud and rocks. So like, felt really good, and like this is prime conditions. Like this is exactly what I ride when I'm back home. So it just felt so good. And I was just like, and I felt better today. So I was like, sweet.
Excellent. And all 3 of you have committed to really tackle every round of this season. So with, you know, another podium on the books and just consistent, strong performances, what we'll do, each of you can answer this, but like, where's your mind going into round 3? I guess we'll start with Kelly.
Just stay consistent and have fun. Yeah, just keep building into it, and it's so awesome that you guys have given us this series to race in the U.S. and have a good downhill platform for everyone to come back to the U.S. and build on that. So thank you for that, and yeah, just stay consistent and stay strong for sure. We're stoked to be racing at a new venue, Utah, Solitude. I think that's going to be so good. Finally bringing the races out west. Thank you. We're going to love that. It'll be really cool to be at a new venue, everyone be on the same level playing field with a new track and new elements, so that'll be sweet. And then of course we rounded out at Big Bear National Champs in Killington, so I think it'll be a really good race series, and yeah, stoked to get some more under the belt for sure.
All right, awesome. And Bella, any thoughts from you on the series?
Yeah, no, I mean, this series, doing these downhill races, obviously I haven't done a whole lot of it, and it's just been so fun. Every single time I go to these races, I just have a blast, and I'm looking forward to the rest of the year, and I think it's only going to continue to get better. Like I said, I kind of had a rough start to this season, and I just got super excited, and I wanted to get better, and I think I can keep getting better. So I'm really looking forward to the rest of the season.
Awesome, well done. And Taylor, to you.
I'm just super stoked to have the chance to be able to race like legit tracks at home. I got pretty banged up at the World Cup last year and had to take a step back, hoping to make 2 steps forward this year. So I've been making sure my mental and physical A game is going right, and I've been working on that a lot this year, and it's nice to see it pay off and just to be able to like show like on such a track that it is paying off. Like these tracks are legit, and so is the competition. I was like, we're going amongst the best, and it's pretty sick to see us all be doing it on like technical tracks. And like I said, like she said, it's cool to have a new track. Like I've ridden here a couple times, but I've never ridden this track, so that was super sick to come into a new track. And then also just talking about Solitude, I'm super stoked to ride another cool track, because I mean, there's not very many new tracks that we'd be hitting, you know, so I'm super stoked about that too.
Yeah, so that's even more impressive, because the skeleton of this track, it's very similar to last year, and a lot of sections are similar to, quite honestly, like 15 years of racing. Parts of this track there's more than decades of racing on it. So, and this is your first time here too, right?
Yeah, my first
so
time.
both coming in first time. Callie's won here before, so you know, like you knew what you
Right.
needed to do, but just a
Right.
testament to all of you guys.
I was actually pretty relieved to see more dirt on this track rather than the past Mountain Creek tracks, which is all usually rock the entire way down, and it's janky rock. So yeah, definitely stoked to see more dirt on this track.
Yeah, and so good stuff. You're carrying now the ODI Red Plate.
Yeah, stoked on that.
Yeah. So you're going to go into round 3 with the Red Plate.
Sweet.
How does that feel? Like, what's that mean to you? Because we kind of took the idea, adapted it from the moto world, and it's so appropriate and fitting to be in this world as well. How does that feel as a rider? Just, standing on lift line, like just
Right.
You've got the Red Plate. How does that make you feel?
It's really cool. I think it's great to bring the spotlight onto the person that's leading the series. I think it's good to have that pressure. It's cool to see it in the moto world. It really stands out, and to bring that into the mountain bike world is really great to see as well. I've always looked at pressure as a privilege, so we're going to try to hold into that and, just like I said earlier, stay consistent and try to keep it going.
And you got to pick your permanent number.
Oh, yeah.
Which is?
I'm going with number 7
right.
because today I had 7. I'm going to consider it a lucky 7, and of course, Bubba James Stewart was number 7, and he was a legend, so it only feels right.
Fantastic. Joining me today are the 3 fastest men in the elite field on the day. What a race. You guys kept us literally hanging 10 over the line of what we could handle as far as excitement goes. So first question, I guess for all of you, you can just take it one at a time. You've all made commitments to race this entire series, and we couldn't be more happy for that. You guys kept us on our toes. How does it feel to kind of have such a dedicated focus? We'll maybe start with you, Aaron, because you're starting not only as a racer, but you're also managing a team that's going to be contending in the series as well.
Yeah, man. I'm stoked. I've always wanted to race the whole U.S. National Series since way back in the Norba days when I first started. But we've always done so many World Cups. My schedule just hasn't ever allowed me to do more than like 1 or 2 a year. So this year I was just stoked. It was something I really wanted to do, to be able to just race every national in the series. Like, I love what Clay's got going on. So yeah, we're really happy to be a part of it and support it. And I feel like for me, just racing good tracks, being here in the US, and like I feel like everybody we're racing with are all friends. It makes the vibe and like the races a lot of fun. So I'm just stoked that I kind of get to do this at some point in my career.
Fantastic. Yeah, there was a lot of noise when you came across the line. People were psyched to see that. But, Chris, you kind of kept people curious because the splits in the middle, you were actually up. And I think there was a lot of people that thought we might see you actually take it. And then at literally the last split, things changed and just barely edged out by Aaron. So tell us a little bit about your run and what competing in this overall series means to you.
Yeah, for sure. So my run, gotta be happy with that. I gave it all I had from start to finish, pedaled, really hard, tried to do everything right. And then, the middle section, I thought I rode great. Like nothing had really changed. And right at the bottom, the last 20 seconds for the last split, I pushed a little wide in that last corner before the finish line jump, and was in a pretty big gear. And was that it? Hard to really say, but I'm happy. I gave it everything I had, and I'm just stoked to put down a good run, especially standing up here with these boys. We had a good weekend. We're all stoked, So happy with the weekend overall. And for the series, I'm just excited to do more U.S. racing, to be honest. Over the past couple of years, I've spent a lot of time in Europe, but I've kind of missed out on some of these, American races. And especially with this series, taking off, going to some, cool places out west. I'm pretty excited for all that. Haven't spent too much time out there in like Utah, California. So it's something new for me and pretty exciting. And yeah, the series itself is so much fun. It's pretty dialed, a lot of fun. The tracks are, super, super solid. So overall, pretty pumped to do the whole series.
Fantastic. And Dante, you're also a part of a program that was sort of built around domestic racing and putting a really strong campaign for the domestic racing scene. So what are your thoughts on it?
Yeah, I'm just super stoked to see what, Clay's got going on for the USDH. I mean, it's super cool to see the sport growing here in the States. And I mean, you just want to support what you have at home, right? And it's growing a lot. There's so many kids racing now, and it's honestly a dream to be able to grow this into a series where we can have professional racers making money, having a great time with all the buddies, and still have very, very legit real races that we have just here in the States. So super stoked to be part of the team that's pretty much just running that. And I won't be overseas this year, but couldn't be happier.
Awesome. Tell us a little bit about your run. You were so close to winning here last year, and you won the SR Sun Tour Hole Shot last year. So I know talking to you yesterday, you're like, I want to back that up. How do you feel about your run? Was it like everything you had hoped for, but you just have some ridiculous talent you contended with, or are you replaying it and thinking, could have done that or should have done this?
I think it's so hard to have a perfect run nowadays, you know what I mean? So there's definitely like a couple sections that I was like, yeah, I could have hit better, could have hit faster. It was a bit tough with this race with the lift situation yesterday and the postpone to today. So we didn't get that much practice on the track that it was dry. So hitting some of the sections like at that pace was something very new for everyone on track. So it was just kind of hard to gauge it for race runs to even just know like how hard I can hit this corner with the dirt right now, how hard I can hit these rocks. So I'm pretty happy with it. It wasn't messy at all, but it wasn't like sketchy and sending like I think our man was over here. So it's, it kind of put me where it was today, but yeah, the boys were riding super quick, so gotta have a sender run and try to not have that many mistakes. But after talking with everyone had some mistakes, so it's just who's going to do it the best.
So Aaron, you're going into round 3 with the ODI Red Plate, which has got to feel pretty good. I'm sure none of your competitors are overly thrilled with seeing a red plate on your bike, because we all know once you get the confidence, that usually translates to better and better riding. And just having the red plate, when you're standing around your friends, they're all kind of going to be looking at it. How does it feel going in with that? And, I'm sure it's no more pressure than you've already been accustomed to over the last, 15, 18 years of just destroying the whole mountain bike scene. But how does it feel going into round 3 with a red plate?
It's cool, man. Like you said, it's good. I was fortunate to have a lot of success in my career, and had the number 1 on my bike for a long time, and it's been a while. And honestly, it's been a bit annoying. Like, I haven't really enjoyed the race results for a few years. Like, it's been a lot of injuries and a lot of setbacks. So it was just, yeah, it was good. I mean, the run today, like Dante said, it was a little squirrely. It'll be funny to watch the replay back, because I was definitely making some mistakes, and I knew it was going to be really close. But yeah, it was just good to like cross the finish line and see green, and I feel like I'm finally, like, I'm getting my base back. Still got a little ways to go before I feel like I'm really firing. But I mean, yeah, on this track this weekend, like with these boys, everybody rode good, so it was like, yeah, it's fun. It's cool to be leading the points. I think for me, I'm really like a one race at a time kind of guy. I don't usually think about that stuff till the season's over. I just want to try to get a little better every time I'm on the track. But it's cool. It's cool that Clay does the red plate on the series, and dude, the races are cool. Like, just won more prize money than I would have at a World Cup. So it's it's pretty cool.
So today you guys were joined by Dakota Norton, and I know he's, one of, for at least Aaron and Chris, like a local friend, and see each other on a regular basis. You've seen the journey he's been through with the injury. He threw down a really impressive run. So any thoughts on hearing Dak is back?
I'm not surprised, I would say. He's funny, man. Like, I don't know, coming off of what it was, a 4 or 5 month like major injury now. I know he's been rotting a little at home, like on his XC bike and the moto a little bit, but I think his first day on a downhill bike was Thursday for practice. And I mean, this is a physical track, a hard track. This would be a good track for him normally because he's so strong. But yeah, Dak like these boys, it's like when you're that good, you get back on the bike, you have a couple of days, like you can figure it out pretty quick. So I can say he was staying with us this weekend, so I know the level of preparation he had. And even like this weekend, like he just got his bike a couple of days ago. He had the whole shock torn apart 10 minutes before we were going up for our race runs. I'm pretty sure he put a stock shock on because the other one had an issue, and just typical Dak form, everything's melting down until he gets in the start gate and then he throws it down. So it's dude, I'm just so happy that he's back on track. He's like seems happy again, and I'm excited for his season. Like he's got a little ways to go, I know, but I think he'll be back right where he was here in another month or so.
One more question for you, Aaron. Kind of rewinding a little bit to Mountain Creek Bike Park US Open 2017. You're teammates with Nico Malali, and obviously buddies traveling together, like, sharing trade secrets. And he was able to come out ahead that day, I believe. And was there any thought in your mind, like a little bit of redemption? I know like you guys are buddies, but was it just like, nope, I'm focusing just on me? Or was there any smack talk in the pits or, anything like that?
No smack talk. I actually don't remember that. I do know the last 2 times I've been here, I had a freak mechanical and twisted my ankle, like broke a crank. And then the next year I was actually following Nico down first practice run, and we were like 30 seconds down the track, and we came over this blind rise, and I landed on this loose rock that had rolled into the track and had a huge crash and really messed my back up, and I was out for like 3 months. So those were the last 2 times I've been here. So it was nice on a personal level to make it through Mountain Creek and just have a good weekend. I've always loved this place, minus those 2 years. So that was good. But I won't lie, I mean, these boys know, like, Chris rides with Nico all the time. Like, if it's wet and flat and rocky and sketchy, like, there's very few people that are better at riding that stuff. So when it was wet the other day and I saw Nico pin it through the rock garden, I was like, oh boy, like, this is a Nico track. So yeah, it's really cool to see him like just putting runs down again this year. Like I kind of wish he was racing the World Cups because I feel like he's on like the best form I feel like I've seen him in a while. So yeah, really cool, man.
Awesome. And then I guess just to kind of wrap things up a little bit, I want to make sure that you guys are able to talk about or highlight just whatever it is we didn't cover. So big picture, we'll start with Dante. Anyone that you want to thank or any overall comments on the weekend and what you're going to do to prepare for round 3, which is also the national championships. Oh, it's not. No, round 4.
Solitude,
oh, yeah,
right?
That's right.
Solitude's round 3.
First.
Yeah.
Yeah, Solitude and then national champs. Yeah, so everything in that question except for the end.
Yeah. No, yeah, I'm super stoked on the weekend, especially with the P1 and seeding. Like, I really enjoy racing in the wet. I don't know why, being from SoCal, but I just like feel really good and always really comfortable, and I like riding at that 90%, but pick my way down pace, and so that was super good. And I thought I had it today. Gwinny just went really quick. All the boys were ripping. It was just kind of hard to gauge, but yeah, super stoked. I didn't even think about the plate, but then you guys just said it, and yeah, I'm going to be bummed to not have the red plate for the next one and see Aaron with it. It was like one of our friends, Dak, this weekend was like, you got my number 1 plate. He was telling me that I had it, and then now that's how I'm going to feel pulling up to Solitude, and I'm going to be like, damn it, Aaron, you got my plate. So no, yeah, it's good. It's everyone's homies, and everyone's just battling it out for the series, so it's super fun.
Well, it's super impressive, and while your plate may not be red, it still does have the number 1 on it for the remainder of the season, so that's a pretty sick accomplishment.
Yeah, it feels good to have the number 1 plate this year, and it feels better to back it up too with results that show I should be up there. So,
how about you, Aaron?
Yeah, overall, dude, just like I said earlier, just stoked to be back. Like, it's good to be healthy and feel like I've finally got a bit of a base on me. It's been a while, and I feel like we're starting to make some tweaks on the bike. Like, I've had enough time on it where I can feel it out and know what I want to change and what I want to move around. And yeah, I'm happy with my setup, and I feel like I'm finally in that point where I'm not just getting back on the bike and riding. Like, I'm starting to refine a little bit and can pay attention to the details that are really those last few seconds that I feel like I need to get. So yeah, dude, I'm just excited to be at this part of the season. We're going to race back at Windrock next weekend, then we got a week off, then we go to Europe for a couple World Cups. So I just really want to kind of build into the middle part of the season strong, and then I'm really hoping the latter half of the season I'm like really able to be, competitive at the World Cups and World Champs and all that kind of stuff. So these races for me are perfect. Like, the competition's so good, the pace is high, like it's yeah, it's awesome. So yeah, just excited to be back racing my bike and kind of doing what I enjoy doing with these guys. So it's all good.
Sick.
And sorry, we're watching practice at the end here, and we can see the finish line jump. So if we're getting scared, it's because Cat 2-3
there's
sketchy moments on there.
Sketchy on that last
through the
jump
window
right there.
now. Oh,
Oh my gosh.
Also, I have a question for
Yeah.
Aaron. Are you racing Nats?
Yep, we'll be there.
So
T-Nats, baby, Big
I'm
Bear.
sure Aaron's trying to feel solid for that race.
That's the original home territory.
It is
right?
OG,
Okay.
yeah.
home
Not
territory.
SoCal anymore, but yeah, dude, I'm stoked. Like this Utah race, the next one, none of us have ever been there a race, and I'm hearing really good things. And then Big Bear, obviously, like SoCal track is so different to here. So I really like the diversity of this series. Like every track is totally different from the other one. Like I feel like it's a very well-rounded series. It gets a chance for like, you know, guys that live here on the East Coast now to race tracks kind of that we're used to, but then we like go to his backyard in SoCal and like everybody's got to race that. And like I lived there a long time. I know how different it is there. So I feel like if you're trying to put together a series and have a good blend of tracks where it doesn't really like totally favor one person or the other, like I'm stoked we got this new venue in Utah. Yeah, it's just a cool series, man. So yeah, excited.
Yeah, so yeah, for sure. The overall, just super fun weekend. Kind of like what Dante was saying, we had a lot of crazy conditions with the lift going out, you know, delayed race, some crazy rain for seating. It was really fun in a way because it was dumping rain. We had the roll-offs on. It was just kind of like drop in and see what happens. And there's just something about that. It was like a little nerve-wracking, but also just so much fun. You're, you know, just riding through so much mud and just having a great time. So overall, that was pretty rad. And just like what the boys were saying now, Dante and Aaron are from out west. I've never raced out in Big Bear. So for me, I know it's way, way different than what we've got on the East Coast, and I'm excited to go see what it's about. It'll be Utah, then the week after, national champs. But yeah, it's cool to have races all around the country, different tracks, conditions, and whatnot. And yeah, want to say big thanks and shout out to Team Generation Specialized. Stoked to have their support out here. And yeah, stoked on the program. Everything is going good, and excited to keep it going.
Awesome. Well, you guys killed it, so.
Thanks, boys.
Thanks, guys.